Hey, Allie, do you want to go... You want to go hiking? I'm not too sure by that response you really want to go. You do? Okay, don't bite the camera. Let's tell these guys what we're taking first. Okay, no bark. Done. I said all done. Down. Quit that. Hey guys, Nutnfancy here. Yes, it's time for another outdoor adventure, and that's what we're going to do today. Sorry if I move the camera around. I've got to handhold it to show you all the stuff we're going to take on this winter expedition. I'll hold it as smooth as I can, but doing it on a tripod just is not going to work. I need to go quick, though, because we need to get out there. We got a lot of work ahead of us up in the mountains. Allie and I are going to go do an expedition. She obviously is up for it. You are, aren't you? Okay, let me go over all the gear. I'm going to start with clothing. The reason I do this is because a lot of the guys have sent me messages and stuff saying, hey, what do you take? And I think it's beneficial just to show my systems. Not that my systems are the best in the world, but they're tried and proven, and they seem to work pretty good. Starting with the clothing, I'm going to use a synthetic base layer. Thermax will be my base layer. And that's about all I'm going to wear on the hike in other than a shell. It's going to be around 20 degrees and snowing. Awesome day for a hike. You'll see what I'm talking about in the next video. Base layer, Thermax. I have a Thermax Henley there. Button top helps ventilate a little bit better. Merino wool socks with a liner. I'm going to be using my Sorel Uplands. A lot of this gear you've seen already in my extended stay backpacking review videos. So you can reference that for more details. My pants, and these are not the best snow pants in the world, but I want to try them. They're 65% polyester, 35% cotton, so they do have a high content of synthetic. And these are tactical pants by 511. I think they're the Pro Light variety. I'll wear those. We'll see how they do. I generally try to avoid anything cotton up there because once it gets wet, it stays wet. But on the flip side, doing this, or taking these pants, I can get them next to the fire without burning them. My exterior layer will be Gore-Tex parka. I'm sorry, Moonstone variety. You've seen this before. I've had it for years. LL Bean stowaway pants, Gore-Tex. I'm going to have those in my pack in case things get really nasty and I need to keep my legs dry. It is going to be cold up there. Cold enough to take a down parka. This is a LL Bean down parka I got on sale years ago. It compacts down, weighs like next to nothing. Reversible, super warm. If I put it under that Gore-Tex outer layer, then it's a really good system. Then I have a Cabela's Polartec 200 shirt. That's a great layer too. I might take a little bit more, a little bit less on my final pack up, but that's the gist of it. When you hike in, you don't want to have a lot of insulation, and like I said before, that's a great way to know if someone's been winter hiking before or not. You're going to generate a lot of heat, even in really cold conditions, so you only need like a Thermax layer, maybe a wind layer, and a water layer on top of that, like Gore-Tex. That's about it. Now, all you guys saw this, you're like, oh, what knives are you taking? Well, I would never take this many on a normal hike, but now that I'm a reviewer, I have to maximize each visit. So, and I can't tell you I'm going to use all these, but these are what I'm going to take with me. We have a cold steel tomahawk axe right there, and I might use that. I have that thing razor sharp, by the way. Then we have a cold steel machete, standard Latino variety. There's an Ontario RTAC 2 knife, Ontario SP5 right there. I really want to work that one out. Rat 7 knife right there. You've seen that at work in the woods before. There is a Bushman cold steel. I think that's what that is. A lot of guys have been wanting a review on that. I can tell you right now, it's not going to come anywhere near these other knives as far as capabilities, just because it's too lightweight. CSK2 by Benchmade. Hope I got that name right. And then a Sawviver. Of course, I always take the Sawviver, especially in these cold conditions that I'm talking about. It'll behoove you to really minimize the amount of calories that you're expending. Got my hiking poles, trusty hiking poles with many, many miles on them, along with some snow baskets. We'll probably have to change those. By the way, to make changing those really easy, I recommend putting Armor All on them once they're clean, and you'll find that they'll interchange nicely. Cold steel roach belly. Then we got the Swiss Army Mechanics knife. I did a review on both of those. My fire kit is going to contain trioxane, Light My Fire, Fire Steel, REI Stormproof matches, a couple lighters. I'm going to show you how lighters suck in the snowy conditions. Then I have some fat wood from Walmart for starting fire. That's a great tinder. Thermometer, thermocomp. I'm going to show you how cold it is out there. WD-40, I need that for lubricating the tools. Definitely in these wet conditions too. Flare pin. All of this, by the way, again, was previously covered on prior videos, but just going over it real quick. Gorilla duct tape. I'll need that. I have a Phoenix L2D light with a light cone and extra lithium batteries for it. That's a great light. Yeah, I'm going to get around to the review one of these days. Petzl Tactica headlamp. Gerber signal mirror. These are my signaling stuff again with a whistle, of course. I'm going to take a tube tent up there. Sometimes I have hiked with this exact tube tent because even though it kind of sucks and I think it will be like not that great of a shelter, it'll save you a heck of a lot of time for an expedient shelter should you be injured or something and you just don't have the time or the energy or the calories to build something more substantial. We might set that up depending if I have time. Then we've got the Adventure Medical Kits Bivy sack. I think it's made of thermalite. That's going to be my main sleeping bag up there. And I do hike with that pretty much all the time. Definitely going to need some gaiters. And again, I prefer the uncoated variety. This upper portion is uncoated. The bottom is coated. Polyurethane. Snow shovel will be nice. I might even take a Glock spade up there. I'm trying to decide. I might take a stove. I was going to take my Coleman, but I'm not going to do that. Might take that little MSR pocket rocket. We'll see. Again, time is a factor when I do this stuff. I don't have like tons and tons of time to do it. If I did, then I would probably adjust my system. There's my camera case with the very camera I'm shooting with now, the Sony Exacti. I love this camera. It does really good work. Lots of extra batteries, and I got to keep them close to my body so they don't die. Not showing all the food options I'm taking. I'll take a couple of freeze-dried meals with me, some hot chocolate, and some snacks, of course. You guys know what that entails. Paracord, I'll take that with me. That's very critical for using. You can make your own cord up there, but again, it's time and energy. Titanium cup for boiling water. My buddy Simply Missing, I think that's his YouTube name, gave me that. Appreciate that. And look for the annotation for the right name. Winter gloves. And here's the gloves. I don't have my leather gloves shown right here. I'm going to take leather work gloves with me because they are covered in snow seal right now in front of the heater, soaking in. I'm going to take my fleece gloves, a nice pair of warm winter gloves, and then my leather work gloves with me. Oftentimes I take more than one pair of fleece gloves because they do get wet on you. And those are just standard fleece. Polartec 300 weight. Water. And that's about all the water I'm going to initially take with me, and it's going to be in the pack. I'm not going to fill up the Camelback because it's so cold out there the tube would probably freeze. Then we got the tripod. That always has to come, of course. Allie's gear is right here. She's chilling out, waiting. She knows she's going, though. She doesn't have her winter coat yet, so she wears this, and I've modified the hood in case it gets really nasty, and it keeps her warmer up there. She lives with us inside the house mostly. She's part of our pack, and that's what creates a really good dog, by the way. I'll talk more about that in other videos. But the downside is, since she's not outside, she doesn't have her winter coat. We kind of prefer it that way because it's cleaner for the house. She doesn't shed, and as the temperature changes, she's not shedding quite as much. The downside is when we go in these really cold conditions, I've got to protect her. And so I have this Fido's rain jacket that I put on her. Here's her pack. She'll have some food there. I might take that chair up. There's my Mountain Smith fanny pack. You've seen that in my EDC Rule of Law Carry series of videos. And that will have a multi-tool in it, in addition to that Swiss Army Mechanics knife. There's Allie's sitting pad, that orange one. My blue one there. Still don't know if I'm taking the chair. I might not. And that's it. That's a quick go-over of what I'm planning on taking up there. I might adjust it a little bit. Oh, yeah. Headgear will be a fleece cap by Under Armour. A little bit more, a little bit less, but that's the general gist. Now, let's get real. Do I take all this stuff every time I go out on a hike in winter conditions? Pretty much. Of course, I'm not going to take all these tools. I just won't. I'll take like one medium-sized survival knife. Definitely a pocket knife. Sorry, I got kind of a cold. Definitely a pocket knife or a multi-tool of some sort. But everything else you see, I will take. Maybe not as many camera batteries. Maybe not the snow shovel. It just depends. But the issue I have with a lot of the survival videos, including the ones on Discovery Channel, is they show the guys pretty much unprepared all the time. It doesn't take that much to go out prepared. Now, granted, if you're in an aircraft accident or something and you crash in the middle of the woods somewhere, that's different. So you might just have to make do with what you have. But if you're an outdoorsman, a snowmobiler, you're going out shooting, hunting, hiking, there's no excuse in the world not to go prepared for the conditions. And that's one of the things I want to advocate at the Nutnfancy project is be prepared. Spend a little money, get your gear, and never go out in the woods with at least basic preparation. And what you're going to see is I'm going to use this system here to create shelter and fire today in the snowy and very cold woods, and I hope the weather is just atrocious. That will rock. You're going to see how these blades perform. I've talked to that in my warmer weather videos, how a blade can fail in cold conditions. We'll see if any of these do. Again, I don't know if I'll use all of them. However, the conditions I'm going to show you are the kind where your gear has to perform. If it doesn't perform and you're in a survival situation, it's quite likely you may not make it out. So everything I'm showing you has performed for me, other than most of these knives that are some of those knives that I haven't thoroughly tested yet. But all this other stuff has performed very well for me. By the way, all this is going to fit in my trusty Red Wing 3200 pack. You saw that in my medium-size backpacking review vid, and I just love it. It's my go-to pack. It's rugged and durable. It's not the lightest weight around, but it works. Man, again, sorry, I'm kind of hoarse from my cold. Let's get going. We got a lot of work to do. Allie's kind of given up on me, it looks like. Do you still want to go? You look like you're kind of lazy. Do you want to go outside? Okay, she's ready. Let's pack up and get going. What do you say, girl? Say bye. Say bye. Ruff, ruff, ruff. We'll see you out in the woods, guys.